Welcome to the Warband, a World of Warcraft podcast. My name is Swag, and with us in the studio, we have the legendary Final Fantasy player. And by Final Fantasy, I mean it's a fantasy that he plays Final Fantasy. Chicken. Dude, Chicken. We got another week.
True.
Episode, what is this, 84? Episode 84?
88.
Wow.
88?
No, I think it's like 84. I think it's like 84.
Oh, this is 88. Are you joking? Like, I can't tell.
No, I'm dead serious. Did I really lose track of our episodes that bad?
No, this is 84. No, this is 84.
Oh my goodness.
Episode 84.
Oh my goodness, dude, you're trolling with me. No, it can't be. No, you're right. It is 88. What the heck is wrong with me?
Oh, wait. Whoa. Sorry. I memed for a second. It is 88. Sorry.
Okay. Wow. I can't keep track of it.
I was like, what am I doing?
Okay, because I thought we had a guest next week, but that's in 2 weeks. We have a guest in 2 weeks. Awesome.
Hopefully we have a guest.
Yeah. We've already locked it in, so it's a done deal. Unless something,
I'm gonna trust you.
Well, unless like an emergency happens,
in.
like last time, right? Then you
I'm
never
gonna
know,
trust that you have locked it in.
You know what? I won't say too much about our guest that we have in a couple weeks, other than they're known.
Other than they have a pulse.
They have a pulse.
Oh.
They're pretty known on like TikTok, I think, for WoW content, maybe Instagram as well. I'm not sure there. But I was like watching stuff on TikTok. A bit of a PvP player, but also a lot of housing stuff, a lot of like kind of cozy WoW aesthetic things, which is really cool.
Wait, are you serious? I still can't tell if this is just like a joke that you're.
No, dead serious. Yeah. We
don't talk about this stuff ever.
No, we don't.
Because
I don't even think Chicken knows who the guest is for that week. So that'll be fun.
I think it's pretty clear that I don't know who the guest is for that week. What are you talking about?
You will. You know, but that's the fun of it. You get to meet her when we record the episode.
Oh, it's a woman.
It's a woman. That's another clue.
Oh, whoa.
Another
Don't
clue.
Cancel me. I'm sorry. That was a joke.
All right. Anyways, no, I'm excited about that conversation. There's already some topics I wanna go into. With
actually,
that.
Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna ask that again.
All right. Yeah. Everything I'm telling you is true. Everything I'm telling you is true. I was not memeing about the episode date earlier. I literally thought we were on episode 84.
No way, you're memeing about
No.
that.
I was dumb. Anyways, we've wasted too much time. We are deep into the thick of it here on the Warband podcast. That's true. However, analytics tell me that we got to mention the big deal things a little sooner in these episodes. That's right.
Gosh.
That's right. YouTube analytics have given me some data that I want to put to use. And that data is important. It allows us to know what topics we need to start with on this episode of the Warband. And one of the things I think we're definitely going to be talking about today a little bit is a conversation, a dialogue that's going on in the X Everything app, also known as Twitter. There's a conversation right now about the cozy core aesthetic of World of Warcraft. Is WoW becoming a little bit too much of a cozy game? We're gonna dive into that one. Diablo 4 released some World of Warcraft collab armor sets that you can get in the game, and they look absolutely sick, and it's making people question why Diablo 4 gets such cool outfits for their characters based on World of Warcraft. And then World of Warcraft gets, let me check my notes real quick, Deathwing onesies. And we'll dissect
the
that.
Deathwing onesies are kind of cool, right?
We'll talk about that in a minute. But Chicken,
I thought so. Maybe not.
Maybe, but we gotta save that. We gotta save that. Chicken, dude, what have you been up to this week?
Yeah, so I played a little WoW, and there's still time for firsts. And I've been playing this game for what? Since 2021, I believe. So dang, almost 5 years. That's kind of crazy. And there's still time for first, like Friday morning, I think it was. No, Saturday morning. I got up and got my coffee before the kids woke up, before the wife woke up, came down, and like, you know what? I'm gonna run a dungeon. And I loaded up into a queue, and immediately was like in chat, sorry guys, I have to take a mad dump, so I'm gonna disband. And that actually happened.
Smart.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, not trying to be weird, but like I've never disbanded a group before the key actually started.
Dude, I disbanded the group right after Key started this week.
Wait, really?
Yep. I was streaming on Twitch. If you don't follow me on Twitch, please do. There's a link down in the description. Come hang out. Come chat with us Friday afternoons. But I'm streaming on Twitch, and one of our good friends, Tiger, great friend of the podcast, he was memeing while I was streaming, and I queued up. I think I listed my key was like a plus 14 something at the time, so I was like listing my key for a run, and he queues up for the key as like a tank. Obviously, I'm a tank. I can't take another tank, right?
Yeah.
And I also know it's like a little bit higher than maybe what he would normally be doing for a key, which is fine. And so it was very obvious he was memeing. We were moving on. So later, I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to just do like a chill key. My healer's still very undergeared. I have a +2 on it. Let's see if I can push that up a little bit this week and see like where I can actually go with this character. Right? Like it's just been sitting there. It'd be fun to try it out and push it a little bit. And so I list the group, and Tiger goes, oh hey, I can log back in. I'll come run your queue with you. I'm like, awesome. So he's logging in. While he's logging in, a group of 3 DPS queue up, and so I like accept the 3 DPS, and then I invite Tiger to come tank. And so we start the dungeon. I put the key in, and the moment the dungeon's starting and the countdown timer is going, I go, oh, let me go toss my healing rocks onto the tank. And in that moment, I realized there was no tank. There's no tank. The timer's counting down. There's about 3 seconds left until the yellow wall goes down and we can start running. And there's no tank. And
dang, that's kind of embarrassing.
Right. Yeah, right. And in that moment, you kind of have to figure out like what is the best way to apologize to the group, right? Explain the mistake that happened, and just kind of like generally just be like, hey guys, I'm really sorry. This shouldn't have happened this way. You know, like I should have checked. That's on me. So what I ended up doing just to kind of honor them as much as I could, honor the time they put in, I just exited the game right there on the spot and booted up Classic, and I played WoW Classic for the last like half hour.
Oh my gosh.
Of my stream. Yeah.
You're like, I embarrassed myself and now I can't play. Sometimes I do that too.
I didn't even want to be in retail anymore. Yeah, I didn't even want to be in retail.
I'm like so embarrassed that I'm like, I can't be in retail anymore. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, if you're listening, if you're listening right now,
bad.
Like leave a comment on whatever platform you're listening on. I want to know like what is your most embarrassing moment in World of Warcraft? Like personally embarrassing, give us the juicy details. If you're a good storyteller, give us the story. If you just need to give us like 3 words to explain, that's fine too. But just leave a comment. Like what was your most embarrassing, awkward, humiliating? I would probably avoid the story that's like your raid leader yelling at you because your DPS was bad. Maybe don't share that one, okay? I don't want to. That's a little awkward. But like I do want like the cringier the better, right? Like I want to cringe just thinking about myself being in your position. So I want to feel better about my mistake that I made. I didn't realize Tiger was actually DPS and he was just memeing as a tank in that one sign up. And yeah. So anyways, that happened. Other than that though, it hasn't really been too crazy. I ran a key with my wife earlier this week.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, we
Dude, I ran some keys.
We usually run. Well. Yeah, we'll usually run like a couple. She only does like 2s, 3s, 4s.
Hey, that's basically all I did for a while too.
But like, yeah, dude. But but she's doing it with me. She'll ask. She'll be like, "Hey, can we run the key today after work?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." Sure. I'm not saying no to that. I'm not saying no
until you're like, "No, I'm not running keys with you."
I don't want to run keys with you. You gotta get good. Yo, imagine
what's her favorite so far?
Imagine telling your wife that she needs like a 3K IO score to run keys with you.
Oh my gosh.
Like her favorite dungeon?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I think she knows Magister's
Terrace. Does she have one? I mean, I don't know if I have a favorite dungeon.
I don't know. Maybe Magister's Terrace only because she is familiar. She probably feels like she knows that one a little bit better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, well, I have to like I like Algathar Academy. It's probably one of my top like
Algathar
3 dungeons.
It's not a loved dungeon this season.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand why.
Yeah. So
it's not an easy dungeon, but like I just love the aesthetic of it.
It's a cool aesthetic. So anyways, we started +2, and this was a Magister's Terrace as well, +2. And I'm just looking for a group because we needed to do Magister's Terrace because part of the reason why she asked to do keys is she does the weekly rep. Like, you know that dungeon quest? You get like one quest a week and you get like a lot of rep. I did it. She does that for the for the reputation, right? Dude. So we're popping to Magister's Terrace. You don't do that?
That's kind of sad.
I don't know. I just don't think about it. I do it now because she's doing it, so I just do it
as long as it's like one of the dungeons from like the season. I always try to do it.
Last week it was Murder Row, and I was like, yeah, why?
Yeah,
why?
No. I didn't do it last week, but this week I definitely made sure to do
I did do it last week actually. I ran a normal Murder Row just because. Oh. My wife wanted
just
the
because
rep.
Your wife wanted to. Yeah, just because your wife wanted to. Hey. I do a lot of stuff if my wife wanted me to.
Yeah. All right. So here's the actual good part of the story, though. Here's the juicy stuff. So we're in this Magister's Terrace, and we queue up for it. First, we queue up for it, and it's like, hey, do you want to be like? I'm looking at the list, and they don't need nobody running Magister's Terrace at a +2 level like is queuing. And finally, a group queues, and they don't need a healer; they just need 2 DPS. And I'm like. And I was on my shaman, because my shaman could use it. Like, it's a helpful dungeon for my shaman, so whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, I can probably DPS. I've been kind of dabbling with DPS and elemental on my shaman as I was like leveling and doing stuff. So I felt like I could probably do a little bit of DPS. So I queue up as a DPS. We go into the dungeon, and we start running. And, like, my wife's kind of stressed out because she's, like, dying, like, more than usual. Even I'm finding myself, like, my health is getting weirdly low, and I'm, like, healing myself a lot. And it becomes really apparent that this group is rough. This group is very rough.
They just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. I will say I was often fighting for top place on the damage charts.
Oh,
so, I'm feeling pretty good. Just remember, you are listening to the Warband podcast where swag occasionally tops DPS meters for a +2. Okay, like that's a pretty high stakes, qualification there.
Dude. Pocket DPS.
But anyways, about halfway through the dungeon, I think we're on boss 3, and we just can't kill boss 3. I mean, at this point, like we've been struggling this whole run. And it's
just
pretty
with mechanics, heals, DPS, everything.
It's heals.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, our DPS probably could have avoided things a little more, but the big thing was just healing. Our healer just could not keep up, and I think they were only even healing because like a friend of theirs, was like asking to, and I was like, all right, guys, we're gonna have to do this. It's gonna be slower, but we'll be fine, whatever. And so like after the next wipe, I just like slipped outside the dungeon real fast. Swap to resto spec, and then we just like double healed it for the rest of the dungeon.
Oh man. Man.
I mean, honestly, I probably should have asked the other healer to just fake DPS, and I would have been fine healing it.
DPS.
Like, do you just want to go do you want to go elemental, grab a WoW head build, and just hit whatever key lights up? Like one button it, dude, just one button. I probably could have gotten away with doing that to him. But that just felt rude. That felt rude, right? Like he wanted to show up and heal. I'm not gonna all of a sudden halfway through the dungeon be like, well, you're not good enough. You have to DPS. The only thing I was sad about is healer damage is so abysmal right now. Like healer damage is so disgustingly bad that it really felt like we were lacking that DPS when I switched over, right? Like if this was Shadowlands era healing. Like, for sure, right? Like, I could have just prioritized still doing damage in my healer build and then just, like, throwing out those extra heals to help compensate for what the healer was struggling with. That would have felt better. But, again, this is, like, a really niche situation that, like, they shouldn't build healers around what I'm talking about right now. But even still, I did, like, it just felt crappy being like, well, my damage absolutely sucks, but at least we're surviving. So that's a plus. And we did finish it, by the way. We finished the dungeon.
Oh, nice.
All that to say, man, dude, I swear, I'm running like 13s now, like 14s too at times. Dude, I swear, bro, +2s are often harder. Like a +2 is often harder than a +12.
Oh, we've joked about that.
Yeah, it's just
many times. And I'm not in disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you just get into those and just people like It's not that they just don't know what they're doing. It's just the combination of like maybe not knowing exactly what the boss is going to do, maybe still new to their spec, maybe just the timer is daunting. I mean, the timer is a little daunting once you first get in there.
Yep.
Doing your first couple mythics, but yeah, dude, they're hard. Especially, dude, and the hardest part is when you get people in there that just like convince you to do stupid stuff.
Oh,
Like I was in an 8 and someone convinced me to pull like a whole entire room, and it worked for us, but like, man, it almost didn't work for us.
Yeah. Yep.
And yeah, dude, it's sometimes it's rough, but twos, they're crazy.
Yeah. I mean, again though, the nature of it is that you have a bunch of people trying to learn. And I guess too, if I was to give a lesson to our listeners, right? If you're listening in and you're like, "Ooh, that sounds terrifying," like, I don't want to ever have to deal with that. That's too scary. I don't want to touch Mythic Plus.
Yeah.
The group was so kind. Like nobody was angry in the group. Nobody was mean in the group.
Yeah.
We've said it before on the podcast. We'll say it again. I really think people are nicer in low keys than they are in like normal and heroic difficulty dungeons. I really, truly believe that. People at that level, they're trying to learn, they're trying to figure things out, and they're very patient. We were very over time, and people are just happy to get it done. They're just happy to like continue going and pushing, and nobody left. We did get it done, as I said. And the cool thing again is very encouraging. So even though you didn't beat the timer, it felt like everybody in there was able to learn and challenge themselves a little bit and take a step forward. And I don't know. I feel like you're so quick to be like, oh, I screwed everything up, but like at the end of the day, whatever.
Speaking along that lines, and I thought about this earlier today, and I wanted to ask it. At what key level do you think it's appropriate to no longer put like the relaxed title and put like, competitive or like challenging or like whatever? You know what I mean? Because I feel like at some point, like, am I just going to be like, oh, this is a relaxed 12? You know what I mean? Like,
I list my 13s and 14s as relaxed.
Okay. I was just curious, like what the opinion was. Is there a key level where I should no longer list things as like,
I think it's the vibe. I think it's the vibe you're going for, right?
Okay.
I
was just curious what your general thoughts
if I'm going into a plus 13, right, and I'm like, look, I don't even care if we don't time it. So long as it's reasonable, I want to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I want to list it as relaxed. Like, hey, like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but can we be vibes? Like, and if it takes us an extra 10 minutes, it takes us an extra 10 minutes to finish.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Right.
But
at the same time, if I'm like, yo, dude, actually, I'm like really trying to push my rating. I don't want to waste my time. Like, if it's not gonna work, then let's just drop it and run it again. Right. At that point, right, like competitive makes more sense, right? You want people who are okay with that. I think it's just vibe. It's just vibe. And I'm not at the point yet. I'm just not at the point, and I don't think it's my personality either. I'm just not at the point where I want to, where like I really like love like starting a key and then just, you get one bad pull and you're like, all right, abandon. That's not my favorite.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I feel like that comes in like Resil territory. Have you gotten Resils on anything?
No.
Oh, really?
No results yet. No, not here.
You have Legend, right? Keystone Legend?
No.
What do you mean?
No,
dude, I just got Keystone Conqueror, and you don't even have Keystone Legend yet. What a nerd.
Well, I can explain. While I have started running 13s and 14s, and I'm proud of that. I haven't been like running them evenly, right? Like, it's not like I got all my keys up to an 11 and then all my keys to a 12. So like,
I
don't think I have any 12s.
Wait, really?
I think I just jumped up to a 13. Just kept going.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. So that was that. So
you're just like, I'm going to do a 13 now.
I'm in it for the Resil 13s, bro. Dude, Resil 12s,
I'm done with
bro?
8s. I'm moving to 13s.
Well, because the thing is, right now I have Resil 2s, right? So like,
Oh my gosh.
my key can't drop below 2. I've already unlocked the Resil 2s.
That's pretty funny.
So at this point, right, like, is 12 really like worth it to jump up to 12? 13 feels like it's a more, like, I don't know. 13 to me just feels more worth it for Resilient.
Yeah.
Because it's a bigger jump from 2. Anyways, that's a joke for people listening. Sometimes I think my sarcasm's really dry. That was a meme. Obviously, Resil 2s are not a thing. I would be very happy with Resil 12s. I'll probably end up with Resil 12s before I end up with Resil 13s. But it would be funny. It would be funny if I got Resil 13s before I got Resil 12. What I will say, though, dude... Well, I will say those 13s don't feel super intimidating for me right now. Maybe I've improved a lot as a player. Also, the season feels a lot easier too. Last season, I think the highest key I ran was a 15 last season, and it was on my healer. And I've always felt like I can do higher keys on my healer than I can on my tank because I have less personal responsibility, right? I don't like. To me, it's just like, I just mosey along, and heal things, right? Whereas on my tank, it's like, I got a plan. I got to know what I'm doing. I have to be aware of what all my teammates are capable of, because if I overpool and cause them trouble, then that's also, even if I'm okay, they're now dying, right? But but I feel like I'm gonna reach that same spot on my tank, and I'm actually pretty confident I can get the 3400 for the mount. I'm like pretty confident.
Really?
I'm pretty confident I can do it. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, 13s haven't felt too rough. Even the 14 I did, we didn't time it. But we didn't time it for a whole different reason.
That'd be kind of cool.
No, it was actually not cool. I didn't time it.
No.
I didn't time it. The dungeon was running fine, dude. It was running fine. We got one boss down. We're doing great on time. I had like a little bit of a rough first pull where some people died. I didn't die because I'm good. But we had some people die, which is fine.
Get out of here.
But we would have been fine. Timer was okay. We were doing good. It was in Nexus Point. It was in Nexus Point, so we got one wing done. We're heading to the next wing. And all of a sudden, dude, my game just starts, like, freezing up while I'm streaming.
Not enough RAM.
Well, actually, no, my RAM's probably fine. It's probably that single thread. Dude, my I don't know. I've been having trouble with WoW. Maybe. I have a noisy fan right now. I've been having trouble, though, with WoW in general. This season, like, it's like I have just like weird moments where like all my textures have to like reload and stuff, and I think trying to do a dungeon, especially with this newest patch. This newest patch I think made it worse for some reason.
I don't think I've ever noticed that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like I open up like the transmog window and it like panics for a second.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Ooh, I've never noticed.
I read some comments and someone said to go down to DirectX 11. I think I recently updated my game driver, so maybe that screwed it up. I don't know.
Possibly. I don't see why it would.
So I'll probably look into that.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah, so I'll look into that, make sure everything's okay. But I'm behind on some PC upgrades, so I gotta get those taken care of pronto. So I don't brick any more keys, man, dude. There's nothing like bricking the key because your computer had problems.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so that kind of sucked. That was a big bummer. It happened while I was live streaming, so another reason to watch me live stream.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. I'm like,
yeah, that's even worse.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, again, I was still live, right? I'm lagging the heck out, but I'm still live. I'm having no like internet
People
problems
are just like,
otherwise.
What's going on with swag?
Like no internet trouble otherwise. But Chicken, we've talked about a handful of things, and I want to shift gears back to a topic we had mentioned at the beginning of the podcast. It's time we talk about it. Cozy Core, World of Warcraft. Is it good? Is it bad? Has WoW always been Cozy Core? Or is it a new phenomenon? So, Chicken, dude, I'm going to set up kind of the dialogue, and then I want to hear your opinions on everything.
Sure. No, go ahead.
Awesome. So when I say Cozy Core, it's just kind of that like a little more cute in aesthetic, right? Soft, gentle, right? Right, and so there's a lot of like a question about, well, has WoW always been that? Right? Like when WoW first came out, it kind of was a little bit of more of that than maybe other MMOs were. It had that kind of cartoonish like art style. That's why even like a lot of times when we make alt characters, we'll refer to them as toons. Like, oh, this is my toon. It's not a Toon World reference. That was a good MMO that I played as a kid if you could call it an MMO. Anyways,
Oh my gosh.
Right. But recently in WoW, it feels like they're leaning even harder in that direction because WoW has also had a lot of like darker, grittier aesthetics in design and in character design. But WoW recently, and I'm not bringing this topic up to be like I hate this. This is why I dislike it. That's actually not at all what this is. I'm just bringing it up because I think it's an interesting topic to discuss, right? And
no,
so
I think it is too.
Yeah, right. So WoW's been leaning into a lot harder, especially you see like on the trading post or the like in-game shop.
Yeah.
You see a lot of it, right? You also see some of it with like maybe some of the like just like world acquirable stuff, but primarily
Yes.
primarily shop and the trading post are like the biggest ones. So Diablo has added new armor sets into the game based upon World of Warcraft tier sets. So they take like the old Paladin, was it like tier 2? I think the Paladin tier 2 set.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And others as well. And they kind of just like put them in Diablo. And they look sick. And they're gritty. And they're kind of dark looking. Right. And it's kind of cool and epic. And very exciting. Like if I played Diablo, I would absolutely want like the Judgment set. Right. Like I'd want that Paladin set for sure. It's absolutely sick. Like even the Warlock set is like super iconic to WoW. The Druid set's super iconic. The Rogue set is super iconic, right? But they definitely have that grittier look. Now, some of that grittier look is just because of the way that models look in Diablo and how that game's engine functions and the way that it does coloring and and the world that they've crafted there. But people are comparing those sets to what we're getting on like the trading post now, right?
Oh, well.
Yeah, right. But you look at the trading post, then you look at the in-game shop, and you see like the tree houses they've added for us to have for player housing. We've mentioned it before. WoW definitely tends to lean more cozy core with the trading post, right? For whatever reason, like you don't find like cool things on the trading post. You'll find cute things. You're like, oh, that's really cute. That's adorable, right? I buy tons of crap off the trading post, so I'm not complaining. Yeah, but you're definitely not finding the cool stuff. Like usually the things are like, oh, that's epic, that's sick, dude. Look at this armor. This is nasty, right? Like that's the kind of stuff that you're gonna get from dungeons. You can get that from, especially from raid, right? Like tier set type things. With that said, though, I just want to like just an open conversation. Like, do we think WoW is getting too cozy core? Like, are they leaning a little too hard in that? And if they lean too hard in that, do we lose some of the what makes WoW kind of exciting, right? Because WoW has often had like a very gritty narrative and story to it, and even some of the loot and the gear and the weapons often alluded to that grittiness. So what are your just like initial thoughts, Chicken?
So, I mean, my first thing is this one. Yeah, I think we are kind of leaning more that way.
Yeah.
But I think I think there's two good reasons for it. One, I think player housing obviously shifted that a lot. But even before player housing, right? The in-game, or not the in-game shop, the trading post, that's what it's called. I was like blanking for a second. That always kind of had like things that were more like, oh, this is like festive. Like in November, they had like a turkey, and a turkey mount that you could get. And, Christmas time, they have, all the candy canes and stuff like that. Right. So it's a lot more like seasonal and less like in-game influence. It's more just, how can we generally appeal to people that play WoW, the general player, not just, a monk that wants to have like karate gear, you know what I mean? So I think they do a good job at that with these trading posts and the stuff on the in-game shop, which again is like ridiculously priced. That's a conversation of its own.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think we have to just call it a comfy, cozy game. And I mean, you see it all the time. Like people like, oh my goodness, Hazel. Yeah. What is her name?
Hazelnutty.
Hazel. What'd you say?
Hazelnutty.
Yeah. Sorry, I was like blanking. I wanted to call her like Witchy Hazel, but that's not right.
Nope.
Like like that's her game, right? She loves to get into WoW and just go farm things and go, build things, go do stuff like that, player housing, right?
Yeah.
And I think you see a lot more of that, right? It's not just people going in, saying, and this is more of a content aspect, not just people going into raid and saying, hey, we're gonna run mythic, prog tonight, blah blah. I feel like you see a lot more people just saying, here's how you do this, like, or if you see shorts, it's, hey, this is how you build so and so in your player house, or hey, I'm gonna play in my player house tonight. I mean, there's things like that, like my wife would not play this game if it wasn't for player housing, like not even a little bit. Like I tried, she wasn't for it, but player housing, she's like, I don't know, this is kind of fun. So
yeah, player housing is like really good, right? And having more variety for like transmog, right? That's not just like, oh, hey, here's your crazy sick armor that is made from the blood of an old god, so that you can go fight the Lich King, right? Like, my wife's not gonna care about that, right? She's not gonna care about that. But you go, yo, here's a cute little sundress, and she's like, wow, I can run around in a sundress.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there's a split here. I think there's people that want to play the game, to be almost like, I don't want to say more competitive, but people want to play the game that want to play it how they want to play.
Dude, they want to play Warcraft.
Yeah, right. Like that's what I'm trying to get at. They want to play Warcraft, right? And then there's people that are just like, I mean, I kind of just like to go in and decorate my house and run around, and ooh, there's a butterfly mount that I can fly around on a butterfly. Like, people just don't care. People are like, I don't care about war or Warcraft or the Lich King or Illidan or Thrall. Like, cool, this guy's a big giant this guy's a big giant ogre. Like, and they probably don't call him that, but maybe, I don't know. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying, right? And that's where, again, I said I don't really know if I have a side necessarily that I take in the conversation. Because on one hand, dude, I enjoy, bro. I really enjoy all the new stuff that they're adding. Like, I don't really care, right? Like, I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Like, some days my character's running around in the sickest, coolest armor of all time, and then some days my character's running around in just pants and wielding a shovel, right? Like,
yeah.
I think what my character's most known for is like running around with a shovel. And that's definitely not like epic or cool, right? That's just like a dude with a shovel. And that shovel model's been in there since Classic, right? Like, there's nothing new.
It's just a dude with a shovel.
Just a dude with a shovel, right? And then sometimes, dude, I'm running around in a chankini I got off the trading post, right? Like, you just, right?
Oh my gosh.
Right? But like, it is kind of funny though, like when you put in that context. And so sometimes those cuter aesthetics or those funny aesthetics or the silly, like humorous aesthetics, the relaxed, comfiest. I mean, dude, there's like the trading post has literal sweatpants, and sweatshirts,
dude,
like in the trading post, right? Like, you're just like, oh, look, I'm wearing sweats.
Yeah, dude,
wearing
I need
sweats
a
on my
house
character.
fit.
Dude, yeah. Oh, on my DK, right? It literally, like, when I go into my house, it just changes my character from his leather pants with a shovel to gray sweatpants with a shovel, right? Like, that's the change. On the other hand, I really love Warcraft. And I love the world that's been built in Warcraft. I love the storytelling that's been happening in Warcraft. And it does kind of feel like some of those grittier stories are gone, and those narrative details are gone. And that everything in the game is about just making friends and trying to understand other people's, trauma and emotional stories. And maybe the trolls aren't so bad, and maybe the blood elves need to be friends with them. And and the underground people, they're actually perfect in every conceivable way, right?
Yeah.
And so then I see that storytelling, right, that I love so much, kind of slowly going away, and I see the armor and the gear and the world building kind of shift towards this, like, kind of almost goofy, like, silly aesthetic of like, oh, we're running around in sweatpants and sweatshirts and right, like onesies. We got a Deathwing onesie, right? And so I have a conflict where I don't dislike these things because I like to use them myself. But then also there's like this little worry that like what made Warcraft something I love so much is the aesthetic and the design and the vibe. And I also don't really want to lose that either, right? And how do I have both? And can I have both, right? I also think,
I think you can,
right? I also think if WoW wants to truly be an MMO RPG, right, it has to be, well, an MMO. And maybe that's where the two things are fighting each other, right? There's a part of me that's like, I want it to be this massive multiplayer online game that all sorts of different people can play, right? Like I can play and be semi almost competitive in dungeons and, you know, killing as much crap as I can kill. And my wife can enjoy playing and work on her little house and do that, right? And others can play and do whatever they enjoy in the game, go collect mounts and fly around the butterflies or whatever else. But at the same time, I also want it to be an RPG. I want to have a world. I want the storytelling to be there. I want to be sucked into it when I'm playing and not just kind of always having to suspend disbelief because everybody wants to run around in the goofiest outfits you've ever seen in your entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't know if I land anywhere. I don't know if I land, right? Because I understand both sides, and I think I have feeling in both sides, right? Like I like the cozy core, but also sometimes I want the Warcraft. You know, I want both. And how do we get both? I don't think the Diablo stuff is actually the answer. I think the Diablo stuff just raised the question.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more just like, why did Diablo do this?
Well, I think it's cool that Diablo did it because it's like, hey, look, the little WoW crossover. You guys love this stuff.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
But I think like when you look at it, you're like, oh, it's real dark and gritty. WoW needs to be darker and grittier. Maybe a little bit. You know, you can only go so far with it. But man, I will say though, sometimes I really miss the old storytelling in WoW, right? I've been watching a guy get into WoW Classic for the first time who's never played WoW, and watch him do like stories in like Duskwood, right? And slowly like revealing these things from the quest text, and it's really cool. It's just like really, really cool, the grittiness and the dark kind of storytelling. I miss that sometimes in the way that the game was designed.
I think I do think you're hitting kind of that like that nail where it's like, I just don't really like, to me, WoW is such a different game than I feel like it was when you started playing. Like to me, I feel like I've never known WoW to be a game where it's like, oh, this isn't like comfy and cozy.
That's true, right?
Like,
yeah.
The WoW that I've always known has always been like, oh, well, we want to tender, or, we want to, accumulate everyone's needs. We want to, include you and you like to do player housing. We're going to give you a lot of player housing stuff to do. If you like doing world content, we see that, in the 0.7 patch, we're getting the heroic world quests from Remix, right? They want to add that in because people like doing that. But there was never a time in WoW where I've truly felt that someone didn't have like something going for them. And maybe there wasn't ever that time, but it like I've always seen WoW as kind of a comfy, cozy game, to be honest. Like I've never seen it as anything else.
Yeah.
I mean,
totally makes sense.
It's even
totally
worse
makes
now
sense.
that player housing, right?
And I'm not against these things, right? Like I think player housing is one of the coolest things WoW's done in a while, right? Like I think it's awesome for the game. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's just, different conversations happening, and how do you balance it all? How do you like allow some of that coziness and allow some of that fun? Like, dude, I love, if WoW was too serious, bro, I wouldn't be interested. I need a little bit of the goof. I need a little bit of the goof, a little bit of the silly. Again, I run around shirtless, wielding a shovel in game, right? Like that's my character, right? He's a Death Knight with a rune shovel. What the heck is that? But even still, how do you just balance it well, right? How do you balance it well? Kind of transitioning now topics a little bit. We had mentioned it before. We probably don't have to spend crazy amounts of time on it, but dude, what was your gut feeling? I guess that's what I'm most curious about. Not even the analytical part of the conversation. What was your gut feeling when you saw the $75 bundle for housing with like the tree houses?
I'm like, really? Like, some like makes me wonder if Blizzard only thinks that people that like just like are, I don't want to say that are bums, because this is definitely not the right word to use. Bum is not the right word to use. People that just like have like, you know, what we refer to as dinks, that have like all this cash and they're just like, oh, I'm gonna spend $75 on this because this is my spending money and this is why I like to spend it on, right? And then I'm like, $75 for a game that, like, you know, to be straight honest, like, I'm like, man, like, could I, like, honesty, like, hour right now, like, man, could I like stop playing WoW tomorrow and be okay with it?
Yeah.
And to spend $75 on something and have that feeling, like I could never do it. I mean, I'm poke me in the side for being a hypocrite right now, because here, you know, I have the friggin' Brutosaurus mountain, right? And that one I think is a little different, but still, like, $75. I'm like, Blizzard, what are you trying to do? Like, I just I worry that they're becoming this cosmetic fiend, and we're just gonna get into this what's the right word? Like this space where, you know, cosmetics, like almost like the Fortnite item shop, right?
Yeah.
Where like that's basically how Blizzard gets their money, right? Through cosmetics. And it means that, you know, the game price won't go up. The monthly shares or your monthly token, you know, that's not going to go up. Expansion prices aren't going to go up. But like every once in a while, we're going to put something in and we're just going to charge a lot of money for it.
Yeah.
And I don't know which one I like, because some of the stuff is like, man, that's really cool. And if it was like $20, like I might consider it, or like $10.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. The implication for the price. Now, I think part of it is like, well, you don't need it. Like, you don't need this to play the game. Totally get that, right?
But they want you to buy it.
But we're talking about a bundle set for player housing that costs an expansion.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Right.
Like, that's crazy.
Right. So it's kind of treated more as like a luxury item. And again, do we need it? No. And can we build a tree house instead with player housing?
Probably.
Sure, absolutely. I will say it does kind of do a weird thing, though, to the tree houses people have built. It kind of almost invalidates them a little bit, which is a bummer.
A little bit.
Right? Because now all of a sudden it's like, oh, you sure you want your weird, janky, blocky tree house when you could just have a nice, polished, shiny tree house?
Nice fancy one.
Yeah, right?
Nice, cute little ergonomic.
Yeah, go make your cookies in there, right?
Yeah, right.
A little Keebler. But on the other hand, though, part of me is just like, against what you said. And I think I had some people arguing with me maybe on Twitch this week about this, and it totally makes sense. I get why people don't like it, right? But the argument that you hear a lot is, well, Blizzard needs to make up their mind. They can't have a box cost plus a subscription cost plus microtransactions, right? Like, you can maybe have two. Like, you can pick two, but you can't have all three, right?
You just can't. It's like, well.
But here's the problem.
Sounds like
Here's the problem. And this is where what people have not given me an answer for. They'll make up excuses, right? They'll be like, oh, swag, Blizzard lost, they let go of some of their staff, or they'll give excuses for why, but they won't actually answer my question, right? So the conundrum we run into is the box cost kind of goes up a little bit, but really mostly because they just keep trying to add more stuff into it, right? Give you some early access or something else. But the base cost, like if you just wanted to buy the expansion, not all the fancy stuff on top of the expansion, I think it's pretty much what it's always been. I don't think it's like ever really changed. Maybe a little bit, but not really.
Not like astronomically, right?
Yeah, right.
Even $10 isn't that crazy. I mean, most, like, you know, the new Call of Duty is like $80.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Games are getting expensive, right? The cost to make them is going up, and they're not getting any easier to make. Games are getting harder to make constantly. And the subscription cost has not changed, right?
No.
I remember looking it up. I was like, you know, accounting for inflation, where should we be at right now, right? Like, it should be over $25 a month for the sub cost if inflation was a part of the conversation here. It's not. It's still $15. And so then you have to say, okay, well, what do you want, right? Like, do you want Blizzard to say, hey, you know what? We're not going to add microtransactions. We clearly see players hate them. So we're just going to increase the subscription cost to $25 a person. Like, I don't think people want that, right?
I mean, no.
Right.
And that's kind of the trade-off, right? Like, what is the trade-off?
Right.
Like,
and if you get rid of the sub cost, sorry to interrupt you here. I just want to make sure I finish this. If we get rid of the sub cost, then how many microtransactions do they have to do every month to make up for it? Because not every player's buying crap off the store, right? So it can't just be like, oh, hey, well, here's one $15 item a month to make up for the lack of a sub cost, right? It has to be like, yo, here's a $75 bundle every month, right? $100 bundle every month, right? Lots and lots and lots of like small $5 bundles, right? Trying to do as much as they can to like get you to spend, because they have to make what accounts for every player paying $15 a month to play this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's and the Fortnite model probably won't work with WoW, right? I think it's just not. It's not likely, right? No. The amount of updates that this game goes through on a weekly basis, it's not possible, right? But what is possible to make it more reasonable? I mean, I think they have to increase, cost somewhere.
Yep.
$75 it's just a lot. Like, regardless of what the bundle is, 75 just feels like a lot of money still. And
yeah, totally agree.
I mean, you're right. It's a luxury. If
Yeah. And that's just how you think about it. It's a luxury item. Yeah. And I think that's what were you about to say?
Yeah. Like, I don't even want to say sorry, really, because it's like, yeah, I could buy this, or, I could buy my son a pair of new shoes. Like, right? Like, it's kind of crappy to say that out loud, but yeah, it kind of sucks. Right?
Yep.
It's definitely a luxury item.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And I think that's where it can feel weird in WoW, where like in World of Warcraft, you kind of want things to feel obtainable, right? Like, oh, anybody can obtain this if they put the time and the effort in, right? Time and effort, right? Maybe it's a skill barrier that you have to work hard to improve over, right? Maybe it's a time barrier of like just farming something for a long period of time, whatever it is, right? In this case, though, is that weirdness of like, technically you just have to buy a bunch of WoW tokens with in-game gold and then use those, right? Like use those to purchase it. But let's say I'm just going to do like soft numbers here, like just soft numbers here real quick, right? That's 200,000 gold per token probably that you're trying to get, right? And that's going to give you $15 on the store. I think it's 15 on the store, maybe. Might be 20. I think it's 15 on the store, right? So you're getting $15 on the store. Need 75. So you're going to have to buy 5 tokens in order to do that. So you're really spending 1 million gold, right? Probably more because of where the token cost actually is.
That just feels bad.
Right. It's 1 million gold in order to buy that. And that feels a little weird. If Blizzard came back and was like, hey, look, it's actually 500,000 gold to buy this in game.
Okay. That feels pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, that seems about right. That seems like that's a lot of gold. And I know people who would do it. I know people do it in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
But
I mean, maybe that's the trade-off, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the value of the WoW token should be more, more. I'm trying to think of the word. Not necessarily like based on market value. Maybe it should be more of a fixed value.
Oh no, I wasn't saying 500,000 gold for the WoW token. I was saying if the tree house bundle, if the bundle cost 500,000 gold in WoW tokens to get, right? So that'd probably be like 78, like 40. Let's say it was like $45 or something, right?
Yeah.
50, whatever it turns out to be. Like, let's say $40, right?
Yeah.
I would have been like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Right? I could pay the $40 or I could go get like 500,000 gold in game and buy it. Okay. All right. That's a lot. That's something to work towards, but you can work towards it. 75 just feels wrong, dude. I mean, and the Brutosaur seemed like it was a convenience thing that you were buying, and even still, I still wonder if the Brutosaur was well overpriced.
Yeah, the Brutosaur was a lot of.
Did we do this to ourselves? Did buying the Brutosaur tell Blizzard that these prices were okay? Is this our own mistake?
I hope not.
Who knows?
Because that'd be rough. Imagine.
Blizzard's like, hey, you guys said you liked buying really expensive things in the game.
Brutosaur.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. Any final thoughts on that topic?
I think it's hard because there's definitely people that are like, well, I'm going to pay the $75. But then there's people like me that are just like, I just cannot like bring myself to pay $75 for something like that. Right.
No. Not at all. Unless my wife looks at me and asks really sweet, then maybe I might.
Yeah, no, I'm still not going to do it.
I need it.
Man.
I need it. Let's hit one last topic for today's episode. Probably gonna be a little bit of a shorter one, dude. I'm dying over here. I'm so tired. I'm hardly keep my eyes open. It's crazy. It's been a long day.
You heard it here.
Yeah, heard it here. I'm dying. I won't be on the next episode. If you hear my voice, it's actually a clone, which is kind of cool.
Apparently, there's a guest though.
No, guest in 2 episodes. Guest in 2.
Oh, guest in 2 episodes.
Yeah, I thought
next week will just be me.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyways, the last thing I want to talk about is the news we got regarding the added raid boss, whatever you want to call it, coming in 0.7. It's gonna have Warbound gear drop, and when we say Warbound gear, not like, oh hey, you'll get gear and then you'll also get maybe a piece of Warbound gear at a like a lower level, like we've seen in past raids or dungeon content. In this case, it's no, all the gear. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but all the gear that drops in that dungeon is Warbound, correct?
I am double checking right now, but I was pretty dang certain everything was Warband. But let me double check. And they're testing the new mythic sizes, which is kind of cool. I don't know if you saw that.
Yep. So basically, though, like,
did you see that? Maybe
I did see they're testing mythic sizes.
Sorry, let me just confirm, but I'm pretty certain that the loot is Warbound. It doesn't say that it's like everything is Warbound, but it's like it doesn't say that it's not. It just says it is Warbound, right?
Yep. So I don't know if this means that loot is gonna be like personal loot when the raid comes out, like, circa Shadowlands, early Dragonflight. Where instead of rolling on pieces of gear, you just get that gear in your bag, and then you can trade it around with the group if you want to. That might feel a little... It's just an odd spot, because it might feel a little bad if, like, it's putting random stuff in your bag. Like, here's a cloth belt, and you're like, dude, I have a blood DK, and I don't even have a main, or I don't even have an alt that wears cloth. Like, what? I got a piece of gear, and I theoretically couldn't even equip it, even if I wanted to. So that's gonna be weird how they do that. Maybe it's still a vote system, which is possible. But if it's a vote, or not vote, but like a roll system, like we currently have, like, what stops somebody from being like, oh, dude, I really need that because it's good for my alt. Maybe that's where, maybe that just means greed feels more usable, right? Maybe the goal here is to make it more farmable over time. That's like, hey, your first few times through, you're kind of aiming for the gear in your group that's beneficial for the people who are present there. But after a while, we still want it to feel worthwhile to go in here and farm this boss, even if you're not like having to bring in your alt. You can keep your main in or something and roll. Yeah. All right. Hey, everybody can just roll greed, right? Greed becomes more important because now all of a sudden greed actually could be helpful in the long run. Sorry for the yawn there.
That's okay.
But yeah. So, Chicken, any thoughts that you have regarding that?
I kind of, we talk about gearing a lot, and we're not going to talk. This is the only gearing we're going to talk about.
We promised ourselves we weren't going to complain about gearing being too easy right now.
Oh my gosh. I kind of like it, to be honest. I don't think it's a terrible idea. I think it rewards people that can do that level of content with the ability to kind of just like give alts good amount of gear, and I'm for it. Like,
Yeah, I have
I'm
no
not
problem with
against it.
funneling. I have no problem with funneling gear to like your alts if that's kind of the point of the tool. Especially like late season like that to like get like an alt
Yeah,
like up and
dude,
running.
it's
Yeah.
it's a 0.7 patch. Like, no one cares after 0.7. Like, people will still play the game, and things will definitely happen in the game. New raid, right? Obviously,
Yeah.
people are gonna play the one boss raid,
One boss
which
raid.
again a little weird, but
Is that
it is what it
is
is.
that a raid? Is it not a raid? These are the questions that people had.
That'll be discussed later. But I'm okay with it. Like, I think to be honest, I'm a little shocked. Like, I didn't think when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is AI. Like, they're just like, they're botting, right? But then I was like, oh, wait, no, this is Wowhead. Like, this is real. I never thought that they would ever do something like this. I thought for certain they would not make any kind of easily swappable myth track gear, let alone like just regular heroic gear, right? Yeah, I was really kind of shocked when I first saw it. So
I think it just offers so many.
Were.
Yeah, I just think it offers cool potential, especially late season gearing.
Yeah,
it's cool to see. I think it also offers potential for trolling in like pug groups and stuff. So we'll just have to see how Blizzard navigates that.
275 eye level and 0 mythic IO.
Yeah.
Imagine that's low key funny. I didn't think about that.
Well, not even that. Not even just like that disparity there, which I don't know if I really mind that disparity because again, people are looking at IO and gear, right?
Yeah.
No, but even just like how you obtain the gear, right? Like, are people like in pugs just going to be like needing on everything just because?
Yeah, I mean, how often are you gonna be pugging mythic though? Is the question.
Well, yeah, even heroic though, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious myself. I think on like what this is. There's going to be a system in place to prevent that. I'm just curious to see what that system looks like. I know currently, right now, you can only need on things that your character can actually use. So who knows what that will look like down the road when that comes out. We'll just see.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious too because even Wowhead isn't quite sure how that's going to work out just yet.
Yeah.
They don't know if it's going to be like legacy. We call it legacy, but I'm talking like Shadowlands looting for raids, or if it's going to be similar to where you can just need everything.
Dude, it's funny.
I'm okay
think
with that though.
It's funny to think that you're calling personal loot legacy.
Oh,
because the system. Well, no, it's just funny because the system we're in now is really the legacy system. That's like what WoW kind of launched.
That's why I kind of was like, wait, I'm pretty sure this technically is.
But no, that's fun though, dude. That's fun. It's fun because like for you came into Shadowlands, so like that was the old system, and now we're in a new system.
Imagine, dude. Yeah. I hated that system. Trying to get the friggin' Anduin ring.
Oh, it was pretty bad.
Oof, that was the worst.
So, let's kind of shift gears. We're gonna talk about some questions that our listeners have left for the podcast. But before we do that, I want to let you know about a few things that Chicken and I love. We love our Patreon. That's right. Our Patreon is one of the coolest places in the entire world. It's how this podcast is funded. You guys keep it on the air, and we could not be more thankful for all that you do. We are going to be doing a live recording of episode 90 coming up in a couple weeks. So our Patreon listeners will be able to sit in on that live. We will have an actual date and time soon for when we're going to be doing that specific recording, but it'll be over the weekend. I also want to let everybody know about our guild that we are a part of. We're part of a guild called Astra. It's amazing. It's a wonderful guild. You should definitely check it out if you are looking for a guild right now. Think social, almost casual, semi-casual. Honestly, we have some. It's hard to describe because we just have players from across the whole spectrum. We have players,
everyone does a little bit of everything.
Dude, we've got players who are like mega casual. We've got players who are running 16s right now, right?
0.1%.
Well, I don't know if we have the 0.1%.
Oh, well.
We're not that competitive, okay?
They don't need to know that. They don't need to know that.
Anyways, though, if you're looking for a guild that's just encouraging, fun, enjoyable to be a part of, I've been rewatching an anime called Fairy Tail with my wife. She's loving it right now. We're almost done. But if you've ever watched it and you thought, man, I wish I could be in a guild like that, just a guild where everybody just gets along so well and it's like family, I'm telling you, that's Astra right there in a nutshell.
That's our guild, brother.
Absolutely. You can find out more by checking out the Warband Podcast's Discord. We have a channel called Join Astra where you can ask any questions you have about the guild or get an invite to the guild. It is not a guild that is under Myra Chicken's leadership. We don't run the guild. We are just a part of it, but we love it so much. I guess technically I'm an officer, so I mean,
technically
ways,
you're second in command, but yeah, you don't run it.
I don't run it. No. No. Also, I'm not second in command. All the officers are equal. We're equal in the eyes of our guild master. Anyways,
so never mind.
I guess that would make us all tied for second. On the technicality.
I was gonna say something, but no.
All right.
Yeah.
Lastly, the last thing I want to talk about before we get to our listener questions, but not last because I don't want to talk about it. Last because I want to make sure you hear me say it. Join our podcast neighborhood. We have a neighborhood for the Warband. You should join it. It's fun. It's a cool place. I need some more help getting these endeavors done. I can't do it by myself. If you have a Horde character or you don't have a Horde neighbor, I think you can actually join on an Alliance character. I don't think you need a Horde character to make it.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I needed one to make the neighborhood, but I don't think you need one to get into the neighborhood. So if you're interested in joining the Warband's neighborhood and you don't have a house in a Horde neighborhood yet, or you're looking to move, you should definitely join us. Again, link to the Discord, and there's a join neighborhood channel where you can find out more information. We have to manually add people to it, so you just have to go through that to get added into the neighborhood. But we got, I think, maybe 20. I think we got 20 plots left out of 50. So definitely come pop in, join us. It's a cool spot. I'm in there. Chicken's in there. If you've listened to episodes in the past with Oreo, she has a house in the neighborhood. My wife, she has a house in the neighborhood. Don't be creepy about that. We got all sorts of awesome people in the neighborhood that you should absolutely hang out with. And we do lots of fun things. So I think we're just wrapping up a housing competition. Today, I have to put the final vote in for that. And then we'll post the winner. And yeah. So anyways, that's everything that I wanted you guys to know about. Time now to talk about our listener questions. I'm going to start first, Chicken, with Snarky's question. Snarky says, what is your least favorite class and why? What you got, Chicken? Is it Rogue?
I'm just going to say it. I do not like Rogue.
Rogue.
I'm not a Rogue guy. I've never been one, and I don't ever want to be one. Actually, maybe one day. I just don't like Rogue. It has a sour taste in my mouth ever since I tried to play it when I first got into WoW, and I absolutely was dog water at it. So I'm not a big Rogue guy.
Yep. So give context, Chicken first tried starting. I think he made a DK, and then we immediately changed servers. So when we changed servers, he then made a Rogue. And
no, it was a Druid. I started with a Druid.
Okay, Druid. And then he immediately when we changed servers, he tried to make a Rogue, and he was like, "This is the worst. I hate this game. This game's terrible." And then I think he made a DK, and he was like, "Okay, actually, you know what? This game's not that bad. I enjoy this game.
Actually, this game's not bad.
This game's pretty good."
That's exactly actually how it went.
Yeah. My least favorite class, dude. Every time I start thinking about a class that I like the least, I start to feel guilty about it, and then try to change my mind. Probably, and again, let me clarify. This answer isn't for which class I think the least of. It's the class that I just don't enjoy playing, right? If you're asking me what class does Swag actually dislike the most, from a thematic standpoint, from a player standpoint, I don't know, Warriors, maybe they're kind of lame. But anyways, the question isn't about that.
Oh, that's how I was supposed to answer the question?
No. The question is which one do you like? I think it's really which one do you like playing the least? For me, the one I like playing the least is probably Evoker. Probably, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think Evoker. I'm not a big priest
actually,
fan
that kind of makes sense for you.
But Evoker's not my jam. So I'll probably say
that
Evoker.
Actually low-key kind of makes sense.
Why? Why does that make sense? Give me.
You just don't seem like a kind of dance on your feet kind of guy like Evoker can be.
Yeah,
jumping around.
That's true. Well, I do jump around a lot actually when I play WoW, but I don't know.
Oh, well, that's true. You do actually. I've
also never really gotten into Evoker, so I don't know. I leveled
The
one
healing,
up. I did the opening campaign back in Dragonflight and then just never played it again.
Interesting.
Maybe I have. Maybe I have to.
Evoker tank, baby.
Yeah, maybe I have to learn Evoker. All right. Anyways, another question coming from Goggle Dog, and he says, I found these last few allied races not particularly exciting, and I think having new races immediately become allied races is a part of that. I found other allied races which were present a while before becoming playable to be much more enjoyable. What do you two think Blizzard could do to solve this, and could our ever-increasing zone counter be contributing, since we don't marinate in the same zones for very long? I like that people are copying me on that language now. We need to marinate in the zones.
But never say that again, please. Marinate in the zone.
Yeah, dude, we gotta let the zones marinate, like bro. We gotta get them saturated.
Weird. Marinate. We need to marinate.
No, dude, some marinara sauce on my Grizzly Hills.
Oh my goodness. I thought you were gonna say something else. Okay.
Nope. Anyways, Goggle Dog, to answer your question, I think this is maybe more of a me one than a chicken one, I think.
Definitely a you question.
I would be in agreement with you. I think the beauty of the allied races before was that we were given time to like love these races and get excited for them, right? And some of them, you know, we've known about for a long time, right? Zandalari Trolls. We've known about Zandalari Trolls since, at minimum, Pandaria, but I'm pretty sure we talked about Zandalari Trolls even before Pandaria, right? So, like, we had a lot of time to care about them, right? And then a lot of them are just, like, modified versions of races we already love, right? So it's like, oh, hey, look, you really like gnomes? Well, guess what? Look, these gnomes kind of, they went extra far and replaced some body parts. Isn't that cool, right? And if that's your thing, you're like, wow, that's sick, right? Lightforged Draenei, right? Like, it's kind of like, oh, hey, look, they're Draenei. They're Draenei doing Draenei things, except these Draenei are even crazier about the light than the Draenei we already have. And so they've actually, like, empowered themselves physically with it. That's cool. Makes sense, right? I think Void Elves were a little bit of an odd one. I think they were really trying to avoid giving High Elves to the Alliance. So they kind of had to make up Void Elves. At the same time, though, I think the Alliance was just so happy to have the Blood Elf model that they didn't really care that much. It was just like, yeah, we finally can play the Blood Elves. We can be Blood Elves without having to be in Orgrimmar in the mud huts. So they like that.
Yeah.
But overall, it really felt like all the races, even like the Dwarf. Like, I'm not a huge Dwarf person, but like, even the Dwarven allied race that we got, the Dark Iron Dwarves, have been around in WoW lore forever. For like, ever, right? So that was cool. The Tauren, right? You get to do the whole High Mountain quest line, and they're cool, but at the end of the day, they're just the same Tauren that we know and love, but now they have antlers. So, like, right. So, like, there's no loss to it. You're just like, I love Tauren. Wow, now I have Tauren with antlers. And some people would say, well, why not just make that an option on the Tauren? And that's fair. But there's something fun, too, about allowing the allied races to have a little bit of cultural difference. And some of that cultural difference, not only to show up in their appearance, but also in their racial abilities, I think is fun. I think the weirdness that we started to get, though, was like the Earthen and the Harnir feel more unique, especially the Harnir feel more and more unique. The Earthen are different than any Earthen we had met before. Like, we've met Earthen in the past, and they're just different than them. I actually didn't mind the Earthen joining too much. The Harnir is like whatever. The Harnir story feels weird to me. And maybe we'll talk more about this. If you guys want me to talk about it, bring it up as a listener question for next week and be like, Swag, tell us more about the theory you heard. But I heard someone mention recently that it would have been cooler if the Harnir were somehow related to the Quill Boar, because you see all like the quills on them and stuff, rather than them just being like better Night Elves and better Trolls, right? Because that's kind of the way they play the Harnir are like, oh, they're like Trolls but better. Oh, they're like Night Elves but better. And that just kind of feels weird, right? Like, it feels like you're telling, like, I don't know. It just feels like you're kind of taking this lore that's known and loved and telling people to shove it. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I don't necessarily disagree with you. I do think I wish we could have seen marinate more, right? And that's the hard thing about adding races, right? The Drakthir kind of worked because we already have Draconids and we've had dragons forever. And so like, the Drakthir were kind of just a way to make it more playable for players. Like we knew that they want to add Draconids for us, but it was just too much. So like we got Drakthir. Like we knew as players. We go, okay, this is how they make it work for us. They're doing this for us. They're making it work for us. Harnir though, it's like their fantasy thing that they're doing, and we're kind of told we have to like it, but we haven't actually been convinced to like it. You know, I guess that's the best way I can think of it. But yeah, I don't disagree. Also, pandas. I'm trying to think of it. Sorry, I'm thinking of like races that were added besides just the allied races, right? The Pandaren were around since Warcraft 3. Even if it was like a little bit of a meme, they're still canon and around. So that's that. Anyways, Chicken, you ready for the next question?
I am ready for the next question.
All right, this one's a little bit tougher one. We probably should have prepared more than we did, but whatever. Draco wants to know, question for the podcast. Can you do a tank tier list or somehow compare and contrast the different tanks? For one, I'd like to understand why it seems Bear isn't popular, at least with you guys, and what differentiates the tank specs from each other. Ooh, you know what? You know what, Chicken?
Is a pretty open question that I don't think I can answer right now.
I think here's what we're going to do for this one. Drea, you've inspired me. We are going to make this as content for our Patreon. So we're going to do a tier list as content for the Patreon. And then after it's been up for maybe a week or so with our Patreon, we will actually upload it to our YouTube channel for the Warband podcast.
Okay.
And make it public for everybody. So, yeah, we're going to do that because I think that's something, Drea, not to dismiss your question, but we want to like actually be able to spend some time with it and genuinely answer it. And right now, I think we would just be like spitting on the wall.
Monk is cool.
Yeah, I will say, yeah, Monk is really good right now. Probably number one. Chicken and I, we play Blood DK just because it's been fun and we play it forever. That's kind of why we've just played for a long time, so it's familiar and fun. Bear was almost going to be really popular, and then it wasn't because it got nerfed. I don't dislike Bear. I don't play Bear a ton. It's fun. I think Bear tanking is fun. I just don't play it a ton because then I can't see my transmog.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's low-key kind of a good point.
Yeah, I always think I want to play Bear. Yeah, I always think I want to play Bear. I'm like, oh, I can run around as a freaking bear. And then I do it. I'm like, oh, wait, I want to see my Mog. Dude, I've made so many Bear tanks. And I just never do anything with them.
I want the bear that stands up, and I think it's too hard to get that, so I'm
Oh,
like,
no,
nope.
It's not, dude. You could do it.
What do you mean,
It's from the Mage Tower. You get it from the Mage Tower.
Oh, wait, really? Actually?
Yeah, you could do it.
Yeah, but how much work is that going to take?
Probably not that crazy. You're a good tank. I don't think this would... if you're doing like the question mark boss, I don't think the bear's that's gonna be that hard.
Well, Mage Tower, isn't that like a couple expansions ago? Wouldn't it be like super...
They usually kind of update it each expansion.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Each season, I think.
Yeah, I'll consider it. Yeah. I wouldn't mind playing Bear. I think Bear's good.
Yeah. It is cool. All right, everyone. That's all the time we have for today's episode of the Warband podcast. We are so excited to be with you. We can't wait to record next week. And then we'll have a special guest the week after that with a live recording for our Patreon supporters. Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you want to hang out with Chicken and I, yap about whatever, we are on our Discord frequently. There's a link down in the description. All I ask is that you don't pop in just for the purpose of debating us, which will lead me to then spend the rest of my day responding to comments. But anyways, thanks for hanging out. We will see you next week.
See ya.